Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host, and, of course, Football Night in America. Haven't talked to you since that play, but just explain the logic. I know Mike McCarthy's trying to protect Dak Prescott. I was also told that 2 plays were called, that there would have been a pass play, and then there would have been the draw on that, because on the run, one of the wide receivers is going out for a pass. He's not even blocking. Yeah. So
no, right.
I'm trying to understand here. Was it the right call?
I think you hit on it. You said some really good things right there. Again, Mike McCarthy's not wrong, and that the referee can just touch it and go. But, there's things in that process. My history is this. Can you get a playoff in that situation with 12, 13, 14 seconds? Yes, you can. But I'm not sure you can get a 17-yard rushing attempt up the middle off in 14 seconds. And to me, with any team I've been around, and, whether it's John Gruden or the New England Patriots and Josh McDaniels, the threshold for a play for anything, let's say, over 10 yards to be safe, to like your point, to where we're not going, oh my gosh, we might have 0.8 seconds of wiggle room here, or 1 second of wiggle room, is 17 seconds. That's how I was always coached in those situations, and I think that holds true. If Dak Prescott slides 10 yards earlier, 5 yards earlier, fine, that'll be okay. If he just dumps off a little slant over the middle, let's just say to Amari Cooper, boom, he gets it, he goes down. Nobody's run all over the field. They're expecting to clock it right there where he catches the ball. Okay, 14 seconds going to work. 17-yard rushing gain? No, I don't know about that. And then what it comes into play, too, is like you're talking about, just the process and how they did it. You roll out the red carpet for the referee. I don't know what Dak Prescott was looking at necessarily in that situation. And with that type of play, too, the touch spot to me is questionable as well, as far as McCarthy is explaining it. Because, again, Dak Prescott started the slide on the 26-yard line. The Cowboys decided to spot the ball on the 23, right? They gave themselves 3 yards. Like, oh, we're the Cowboys. We'll just give ourselves 3 yards. How dare they want to spot the ball in the correct place? So there was those issues as well. And even within that, the referee, who did a good job hustling down there and trying to help out the Cowboys, Dak Prescott runs into him. Man, he was wrong in the fact that he didn't even spot the ball in the right spot. Yeah. The whole Cowboy team is offsides, really, too. So to me, again, not a bad call. It's just the process of how they went about it that I think is a little skeptical at this point.
All right, let's move to the playoff teams. You have more confidence in Ryan Tannehill to win a game for the Titans, or Jimmy Garoppolo to win a game for the Niners?
Ryan Tannehill, 100%. I mean, we're talking about, like, just you're saying like the ball. 100%. Yes, I do.
Okay.
100%.
There's no wiggle room.
I'm 100% confident that I'm going Tannehill there. I like Jimmy G. We know it, but I mean, come on. We all know it's a flip of the coin sometimes at the end of the football game with him. Just like last week, it's 23-7. Brandon Ayuk's wide open. There's nobody in the screen. They're going to put the game away right there. He misses the throw. The interception itself. It was a 5-yard crossing route. He did not get the ball within 5 feet of the receiver. He couldn't even get a hand on it. Interception. So that I worry about. Tannehill doesn't do stuff like that. He has great control of the football, and he's a really accurate thrower. So, I mean, I think you're asking me, like, 4 minutes left in the game, What quarterback would I take? I'm taking Tannehill.
And I wonder, how much do the Bengals expect to see Derrick Henry this weekend?
I think they got to prepare for, we're going to see the full effect of him, just to get your mind right. And of course, if he is there and it is the full effect of him, you got to make sure you got your game plan in the right way and the ducks in a row as far as stopping that aspect. So I would approach it, if I'm the Bengals, to go, it's going to be Derrick Henry time. Let's just get our minds ready for that. And if it's not him, great. We dodged a bullet. We don't have to deal with him that much. Great. That's awesome. But I would be more worried about that aspect than not. And yes, he's a game changer. We know that. He's first ballot Hall of Famer running back, in my opinion, one of the all-time greats, and he can break an 80-yard run, or when there's nothing there to be had, he can still get 3 or 4 yards. And to me, the other thing that's going to really be a jump-off spot, is he's going to open up their play-action pass game. They want to be like the 2003, 2004 Patriots. They want to run the ball, play defense. Brady makes some clutch big throws for us in some big moments. They're going to ask Tannehill to do that. I think that's the way they want to play. I'm excited for that game.
I have pleaded with the audience, football fans, the media. We got to come up with a better nickname than Joe Cool for Joe Burrow. That's not fair. That's not fair to Montana. Yeah.
Right. You're right. You're right.
And you've said Joe Cool. You said this on
I know.
Football Night in America.
Yeah.
That you should be ashamed of yourself.
You're right. I mean, good for you to slap me around a little bit. Yeah, get on me a little. Yeah, we do have to. It is disrespectful to the original Joe Cool. I mean, Burrow he's cool, so it's just easy to go with that. But I don't know. I'm not that creative.
Well, I'm waiting for Broadway Joe. I mean,
yeah, right.
I don't know what street he lives on in Cincinnati, but I hope it's not Broadway because it'd be like, yeah, Broadway Joe. No, you can't have that one either.
No, you can't have that. You're right. We can't infringe on copyright, as far as great nicknames that way. But one thing I always call him is a slippery SOB. That's what I do call him. The Natural. That's another nickname I use for him.
You can't take that one either.
I know. Okay, that's just a movie. It's not a real person. So I thought maybe I could go there with that one. But something along those lines because, man, I love watching Joe Burrow. I love that offense. And even though I think people are disrespecting the Titans, their pass defense, this offense coming to the town, who's got every play in the book and talent, I think that could be an interesting game just because of Burrow and that offense and how they run things.
Give me your quarterback ratings. I always have great respect for how you rank quarterbacks. Those who are still in the playoffs, give me these 8 quarterbacks and who's won and how they're playing right now.
Right.
Okay, so number 1 is?
Man, you're putting me under the gun here. I think I'd go right now. And I understand Aaron Rodgers is the MVP of football. I'd probably put Josh Allen number 1 right now. Right. I'd probably go Allen 1. Right. I would. Allen and Mahomes, even though, even Mahomes didn't have his greatest year, to me are just they're so dangerous in these situations. They're like Rodgers was, let's say, 4 or 5 years ago. Rodgers needs, again, now a little protection. He can't make the magic happen as far as extending plays like he used to. Remember the old days? He used to sit back there and hop and wiggle around and move and make people miss. And then, if I got to break the pocket, I will. That's kind of Mahomes and Allen now. You can't contain them in the pocket. Put a quarterback spy on them. Great. I watch it all the time. It doesn't do jack diddly squat. So there's just so many plays where I look at and I go, the defense won this play, and these two damn guys still got a 20-yard gain. And that's where they're amazing. So I'd probably go Allen 1, Mahomes 2, Rodgers 3, Brady 4, just over Burrow 5, Stafford 6, Tannehill 7, Garoppolo 8. You okay with that?
Yeah. Josh Allen threw the perfect game. In the game against the Patriots, that's as good a football as you could play. And Mahomes, take away the strip sack or the strip 6. He threw 5 touchdown passes in less than 11 minutes.
Yeah. Right. I've never seen anything like the Kansas City Chiefs. They're like the Golden State Warriors from a few years ago. You go, this team's up by 10 and they're controlling the game. And all of a sudden you look and you go, what? The Warriors are up by 20?
Yeah.
And it's 4 minutes later. How did this happen? I've never seen a team that can just catch on fire like the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm really excited for that one. To me, I think we're getting close to this is the modern day Manning Brady is Allen versus Mahomes. Mahomes we know is in all probably greater than Josh Allen. We know he's won the Super Bowl. He's, won 2 AFC championship games. But I will say this, Josh Allen has outplayed Patrick Mahomes the last 2 seasons in the NFL. He's the greatest one-man show in the sport right now. I mean, hey, it's 3rd and 2. We need a first down. Let's pull 2 guards and give the ball to Josh Allen, and he'll run up in there and run for a 40-yard gain like he's Cam Newton. Now we need him to scramble or be precise with passing. He's got it all, just like Mahomes, except maybe a little bit more size and ability to move the chains with his legs and a traditional running form there.
He's Chris Sims from Football Night in America, Pro Football Talk Live co-host with Mike Florio. Yeah, there were times when I didn't want Josh Allen or any of my quarterbacks to run. Now when I watch Buffalo, I realize he has to run, and he's such a valuable weapon. The quarterback with the most pressure this weekend is?
I think it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
I think that's the one I would look at. Again, he is very legacy aware.
But what are we talking about if the Packers lose to the Niners?
If the Packers lose to the Niners, we're going to just hear all the same stuff we always hear from people who want to hate or be negative about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he lost a big game again. He can't win the big one. They're the number 1 seed, and they lost at home to the 49ers, which I understand. I mean, that's legitimate. I get that. I know, again, there's a few times I'd say, hey, the Seattle NFC Championship game, that wasn't his fault. Come on. Last year certainly wasn't his fault either. Did some really good things. Outplayed Brady. We know that. But there's been other games where the Falcons and the 49ers the first time around there a few years ago, it wasn't good. This is big not only, I think, for him personally, but just in the scope and the eyes of the normal, common football fan. If they lose this, everyone looks at them as the Super Bowl contender. And I'm one that's been saying, I don't think the Packers are a Super Bowl team. I don't know if that necessarily means I'm not going to pick them this week, but I think the 49ers pose some real issues for them. I bet you when they saw they had to play the 49ers, they went, man, I wish we were playing the Rams. They match up better with them, and that's where it's going to be scary. And I would not be shocked if the 49ers went up there and upset Green Bay this weekend.
The Rams will upset the Buccaneers because of their offense or their defense?
Yeah, their defense has the number of the Bucs offense. And the fact of the Bucs, there's very few defenses they don't actually match up well, and you go, advantage Bucs. But the Rams are one of those where I go, I don't know. There might be an actual advantage here for the Rams and one of the few teams. Every team's got their kryptonite. Bucs so big and powerful up front. The Rams are all small and size predicated. I mean, their defensive tackle, Aaron Donald, is 280. Gaines is only 290. They don't have those big space eaters like a Vita Vea or Ndamukong Suh. But that poses problems for a bigger, lumbering offensive line for the Bucs, who have shown in the last 2 years their inability to, kind of get hold of these guys in the run game, and they're able to beat them in the pass rush as well. So I guess I would look at that as, again, it goes back to something we talk about a lot with Brady. You can get there with the forward, disrupt him with that. We know the one weak part of his game is he can get a little flinchy in the pocket. But here's one other aspect, Dan, that I think is real interesting too, because I do think the Rams are going to be able to move the ball on this Bucs defense. Can they protect Stafford well enough, and especially without Whitworth there? The D-line for the Bucs is healthy. I think the Rams pose some real problems for the Bucs, but I do worry about their ability to block all 4 of those guys. That's probably the weak spot of the team, in my opinion, with the Rams, is the offensive line. Coached well, they do things the right way. It's just not overly talented, and this is a game I'd be worried about them getting smashed a little bit up front.
I'll leave you with this. Tell me why Jim Harbaugh would leave Michigan, and let's say it is the Raiders. Why would he leave now?
I think he just wants to be in the NFL. I think that's where I look at it. I think he looks at the NFL and goes, wait, that maybe suits me better. I don't have to talk and be weird in recruiting kids or parents because I'm weird socially anyways, and Jim Harbaugh. And I think that's his lifelong dream. I do. I think to win a Super Bowl, do that. But again, like the one thing I don't hear anything from the people I know in football, and I know some people, to know that there's legitimate interest for Jim Harbaugh. To me, I think he's putting this out there. He's fishing. He would like to leave Michigan, I guess, to go back to the NFL and just have that lifestyle. Again, college is a different game. There's less X's and O's. It's more about talking, conversations with parents, kids, managing a situation. And I don't know. I could never do that, and I can imagine him getting sick of that as well.
Is it the right move for the Raiders?
That's questionable. The Raiders have some things there about their coaching staff that I would be real careful about letting go of Rich Bisaccia and the rest of that crew there. Like, you watch the Raiders, I watch the Raiders. I don't sit there and go, oh my gosh, they're so talented. Man, did they underperform this year. They should have been in the championship game or the Super Bowl. No, not at all. Bisaccia, I do think is worthy of being a head coach. Greg Olson's a good offensive coordinator. Gus Bradley does a good job with that defense. He invented the Seattle scheme. I wouldn't just throw that out the window for anybody. And, and not for Jim Harbaugh, where, again, I know after 3 years, everybody gets sick of him. He treats people not the greatest at times. He didn't treat me good. I don't like him. I root against him all the time. I don't like Jim Harbaugh. It's
Wait,
personal.
what did Harbaugh do to you?
Oh, he was such a jerk. One of my first interviews I ever had at Bleacher Report, he stopped the interview like after my third question because I asked him about Colin Kaepernick's contract situation. And he took off his mic and said, "See, I'm done with this, and tell your dad I said hi." And that was it. So from that point on, I root for Ohio State always, and root against Jim Harbaugh. Screw him.
But he was thoughtful to say, tell your dad hi.
Yeah, what a nice guy. What a nice guy. And then I know too many stories about, again, everything. Coaches that have worked for him. Hey, he went to Michigan. He took the job. He didn't even tell any of his coaches in the San Francisco staff. He just called them and was like, hey, I'm in Michigan. I'm staying here. You guys figure it out yourselves. Oh, great, coach. Thanks for being such a great leader. So it's stuff like that where I'm very loving of John Harbaugh. I think he's the man and has the Midas touch with people. Jim, not so much.
Could you take Harbaugh?
Would I take Harbaugh?
Could you take him?
Yes, I can. Right now at this, I mean, he's a scary SOB, and he's weird, and he's tough. There's no doubt. But he's not taking me right now at my age.
Okay,
no,
who are you guys taking? Let me ask the Danettes. Paulie, I mean, I'm going Harbaugh. Because Harbaugh's got crazy strength. Like he would do whatever it would take. He would chew off his arm to get out of one of your.
I am the guy that lost the spleen and kept playing, and I got crazy strength too. All right, and I don't back down from anybody.
Boo hoo! You lost a spleen.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Paulie lost an eye. Paulie's got one good eye. Paulie, who do you take?
Damn, it's just the eye.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean,
Sims or Harbaugh?
Harbaugh's probably got 2 spleens, knowing him with all that milk he's digesting. You know what? Chris is younger. He's got a lot more reach, but he would have to kill Harbaugh for the fight to be over. And Chris doesn't mean like that.
Okay,
You're right. I don't want to kill anybody.
Seton, you got Sims or Harbaugh?
I've met Jack Harbaugh, and I don't see any way that his son is losing a fight.
Wow, have you met Phil Sims? I mean, have you met him?
Well, that is true.
Because I'm taking Phil over Jack all day long.
Well, no, I would take your
anytime.
dad. Okay, your dad's a tough guy. Fritzy, you taking Sims or Harbaugh?
I got to go Chris. He's an extremely nice guy, but I have a feeling he can flip that switch and find that dark side of kind of losing it.
I
on
definitely
somebody.
can. I'm the temperamental person in my family or out of all my friends. You guys just haven't seen it. But now that you picked, so many of you picked Harbaugh, you're going to see it next time I come up there. I'm going to see it. I'm going to put all your asses in a headlock, and we'll see. And you'll understand what we're talking about here.
Have a great weekend, Chris.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Be good, you jerks.
Thank
all of you.
Buddy.
You're all
Thank
jerks
you.
this time.
Thank you, buddy. If we get Sims when he's on his medicinal marijuana trip, then I'm okay.
He's more chill.
We could take him.